My child, wait. Just for a moment. Can you hear it? No, not the noise. Not the endless traffic of worries speeding through your mind. Not the shouting voices of expectation from the world, and certainly not the piercing siren of your own self-criticism. I am not asking about the constant static of a life that feels too loud, too demanding, too heavy. I know you hear that all too well. It is the soundtrack to your days and the thief of your sleep. I am asking, can you hear my whisper beneath it all? Underneath the clamor of your fears, in the quiet space between the frantic beating of your heart and the next anxious breath you take. I am there. I am always there. My voice is not in the earthquake of your problems, nor in the fire of your desperation. It is a still, small voice, a gentle whisper that has been calling your name, waiting for you to find a moment of silence in which to hear it. I see you, my beloved. I see the storm raging within your soul. I see the battlefield your mind has become, where thoughts of what if and if only wage a relentless war against your peace. Thousands of questions like arrows fly at you from every direction. Why, Lord, is this happening to me? When will this season of hardship finally end? Have you forgotten the promises you made to me? Do you even see me down here struggling to stay afloat? The questions scream for answers, and you have been straining with every fiber of your being to hear a reply amidst the chaos. Your spirit is exhausted. It is a unique kind of weariness, isn't it? It is the fatigue that comes from trying so hard to listen, from constantly scanning the horizon for a sign of hope, a signal that help is on the way. You have searched for peace in so many other places. You have looked for it in distraction, hoping a screen or a substance could numb the ache. You have looked for it in the approval of others, hoping their validation could quiet the voice of inadequacy inside. You have looked for it in your own strength, believing that if you just tried harder, planned better, or worked more, you could finally build a fortress around your heart that the chaos could not penetrate. And what have you found? A silence far more terrifying than the noise itself. The deafening silence of an unanswered prayer. The empty echo in a room after you have cried your last tear for the night. You have mistaken this silence for my absence. You have believed the lie of the enemy that your pain is proof of my neglect. But listen to me now. Hear this truth as it cuts through every other sound. Today I have not come to simply snap my fingers and silence the storm around you. If I did that, you would not understand the strength you have gained while learning to sail through it. No, I have come today to do something far more profound. I have come to reveal the purpose of the storm. I have come to explain why I have allowed the waves to crash against the hull of your boat. Why I have allowed the winds of adversity to blow. This message, this divine appointment we are having right now, is not an escape from your pain. It is an invitation into a deeper understanding of it. It is a revelation of how I, your Creator and your Father, am using the very things that you thought were meant to destroy you. I am taking every tear you have cried in secret, every moment of fear that has gripped your heart, every sleepless night spent wrestling with doubt, every prayer you whispered into the darkness thinking no one could hear. I am gathering all of it. None of it has been wasted. None of it was meaningless. I am using it all as the most precious and sacred raw material to build the miracle that you have been crying out for. Your pain is not a punishment. It is a preparation. Your trials are not a sign of my abandonment. They are the very tools I am using to sculpt you, to strengthen you, and to prepare the foundation for a blessing so great it will silence every voice of doubt you have ever heard. So I ask you again, my child, do not turn away. Do not let the noise pull your attention elsewhere for just a few more minutes. Your breakthrough is not found in escaping the noise, but in learning to hear my whisper within it. Give me this time. Grant me this moment, because what you are about to hear will not just bring you comfort for a day. It will change the way you see your tears, your scars, and your story. Forever. Before I show you what I am building, I must first show you that I see. I see the landscape of your heart, every valley of sorrow, and every mountain of struggle. I have walked through the terrain of your pain with you, even when you felt you were walking alone. Your wounds are not a mystery to me. They form a map that I know by heart. Let us walk through it together, you and I. I see you in the room of unanswered prayers. Oh, my child, I see you there so clearly. It is a room you have built with tears and furnished with hope. It is where you go when the world is too much, the one place where you feel you can be utterly honest. I have heard every word spoken in that sacred, lonely space. I have heard the desperate cries for healing, the fervent pleas for a breakthrough, the bargains whispered in the dead of night, when you felt you had nothing left to offer but your own brokenness. You have knelt on the floor of that room and poured out your soul like water, trusting that your Father was listening. You have presented your faith, sometimes a roaring fire, other times a flickering, fragile ember. And you have waited, and in return, you have received what feels like the cruelest of answers. Silence. Not a peaceful, comforting silence, but a heavy, hollow silence that rings in your ears and chills your spirit. This silence has become a voice of its own, hasn't it? It is the voice of the accuser, and it whispers the most painful lies into the emptiness. It tells you, you are not worthy of an answer. It suggests, your faith is too weak, your sins too great. It taunts you with the devastating thought, he has forgotten you. He is busy answering the prayers of others, those who are more faithful, more deserving. That silence has echoed louder than any refusal ever could, because it has made you question my character, my love, my very presence. You have started to wonder if the door to heaven is closed to you, if your petitions are simply piling up outside, unread and ignored. You fear that I have turned my face away. My child, I see the profound agony of that silence. I see how it has bruised your hope and tempted you to stop knocking altogether. I see that pain. I see you in the middle of a crowd wearing a mask so beautifully crafted that no one would ever suspect the truth. You are the strong one, the pillar, the dependable shoulder for everyone else to cry on. You dispense wisdom, offer encouragement, and hold others together when their worlds are falling apart. Your catchphrase is, "I'm fine," a simple two-word shield that you use to deflect any genuine inquiry into the state of your own soul. But I see what it costs you to wear that mask. I see the immense weight of it pressing down on you, the sheer exhaustion that settles deep in your bones after a long day of pretending. I see the cracks forming in the porcelain smile, the ones that only appear when you are finally alone. Behind the "I'm fine," I hear the silent scream of "I'm breaking." Behind the capable exterior, I see the trembling child who just wants to be taken care of for a change. You are drowning in the very responsibilities that you make look so effortless to others. You are carrying the weight of your family, your work, your community, all while the foundation of your own heart is crumbling beneath your feet. The loneliness is crushing to be so surrounded by people, yet to feel so completely and utterly unseen. You fear that if you were to remove the mask for even a second, if you were to admit your weakness and your need, that the whole world you have so carefully constructed for others would collapse. And worse, you fear that they would turn away, unable to handle the reality of your own pain. So you keep the mask on, adding another layer of paint to cover the cracks and another lock to the door of your heart. My beloved, I see the crushing burden of that mask. I see the hero who needs a hero. I see that weight. I see you trying to navigate your present while still bleeding from the wounds of your past. I see the shards of yesterday still embedded in your heart, sharp and unforgiving. They are the cruel words spoken over you that you have never been able to unhear, words that have become part of your own inner monologue. They are the sting of a betrayal so deep it has poisoned your ability to trust. They are the gaping hole left by a loss so sudden, so final, that it has permanently altered the landscape of your life. The world tells you to move on, to let it go, to leave the past in the past. But how can you when the past is not just a memory? It is a living, breathing wound that reopens with the slightest touch. A song on the radio, a familiar scent, a passing comment, and suddenly you are right back there feeling the full force of the initial impact, as if it were happening all over again. These unhealed scars have become a prison. They dictate your choices, limit your joy, and whisper fearful warnings every time you consider opening your heart again. They convince you that what happened once will surely happen again, that you are destined to be hurt, abandoned, or disappointed. You build walls to protect yourself, but you have found that these walls do not just keep the pain out. They also keep the love out. They keep me out. You try to pray for your future, but the ghosts of your past stand in the way, mocking your hope and reminding you of every failure and every heartbreak. You long to be free, but you feel chained to a history that you cannot change. My child, I see those chains. I feel the throb of those old wounds with you every single day. I see those unhealed scars. I see you scrolling through the curated highlight reels of other people's lives, and I feel the desert of comparison begin to parch your soul. In the quiet moments of your day, you watch as others receive the very breakthroughs for which you have been fasting and praying. You see the announcement of their new job, the picture of their restored relationship, the testimony of their miraculous healing, the joy of their growing family. And with each post, each picture, each story, a sharp pang of envy and inadequacy pierces your heart. A voice slick with the poison of the enemy begins to speak. Look at them. They are blessed. They have favor. What is wrong with you? Why not you? You begin to measure your journey against theirs, your chapter 3 against their chapter 20. You see their harvest and forget the long season of planting and watering that you did not witness. You see their victory and forget the private battles they may have fought to achieve it. All you see is what you lack. The green monster of jealousy intertwines with the gray fog of self-pity, and suddenly your own life feels barren and insignificant. You start to believe that my love and my blessings are a finite resource, a pie from which others have taken a larger slice, leaving only crumbs for you. You start to question your own value. In my eyes, wondering if I am deliberately withholding good things from you. This comparison steals your gratitude, poisons your contentment, and blinds you to the unique and beautiful work I am doing in your own life, in your own time. My precious child, I see the dryness of that desert. I see you withering under the harsh sun of comparison. I see that thirst. I see it all, my beloved child. I see every corner of the map. Nothing is hidden from me. Not one silent tear that has traced a path down your cheek in the darkness has gone unnoticed. Not one heavy sigh that has escaped your lungs when the weight felt too much to bear has been forgotten. Your pain is not invisible to me. It has not been dismissed. It has been recorded in my heart, witnessed by my grace, and held with a compassion that is deeper than the oceans. Your scars are not signs of your failure. They are not marks of my disapproval. They are the testament to a warrior who has refused to give up. They are a map, my child, a map of where you have been, a map of the battles you have survived. And it is this very map that I am now using to guide you to your promised land. Now that you know that I have seen your pain, I want to pull back the curtain of your circumstances and give you a glimpse into the divine purpose behind it. You have been looking at your struggles through a keyhole, seeing only the confusion and the chaos of the present moment. But I see the beginning from the end. I see the glorious tapestry I am weaving, and today I will help you understand the purpose of each dark and painful thread. What you have perceived as my absence or my indifference has been in truth the work of my most intricate and loving wisdom. You have asked me, Lord, why so much pressure? Why does it feel like I am being squeezed from all sides? You feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you fear you are about to be crushed. My child, I want you to picture a master potter in his studio. He takes a shapeless, ordinary lump of clay, a piece of the earth just as you are, and places it at the very center of his wheel. To the clay, what happens next feels violent and chaotic. The wheel begins to spin, disorienting it. Then the potter's hands apply pressure. They press down, they push in, they pull up. If the clay could speak, it would surely cry out, "Stop, you are hurting me. You are breaking me." It cannot comprehend the purpose in the pressure. It only knows that it is being forced into a shape it does not understand. But the potter in his wisdom knows that without that firm, consistent pressure, the clay will remain a useless lump forever. He is not punishing the clay, he is shaping it. He is pressing out the hidden air bubbles, the pockets of pride, fear, and self-reliance that would cause it to explode in the final stages. Every push, every squeeze that feels like a crushing force to you is the skillful touch of my hand, conforming you to the image I have dreamed of for you since before time began. I am shaping you into a vessel of honor, a masterpiece destined for a great purpose. Then comes the next stage, which feels even more terrifying to the clay. The potter takes the newly formed vessel and places it into the furnace. The fire is intense, all-consuming. The heat is unbearable. The clay, now a delicate pot, must feel that this is surely the end. It must believe the potter has abandoned it, to be consumed by the flames. This, my child, is the season of fiery trial you have been in. You have felt the heat of affliction, the fire of loneliness, the scorching flames of loss, and you have thought, surely God has left me here to be destroyed. But the master potter never walks away from the kiln. He watches it with more intensity than at any other stage. He knows the precise temperature required, the exact amount of time needed. The fire is not meant to destroy the vessel, but to fulfill it. It is the fire that transforms the soft, fragile clay into hardened, resilient stoneware. It is the fire that vitrifies it, making it strong, permanent, and capable of holding whatever it is filled with. It is the fire that brings out the true, brilliant colors of the glaze. My child, the trials you have endured are not meant to burn you, but to set you. I have allowed this fire to make you strong enough, durable enough to contain the immeasurable glory, the new wine, the living water that I am preparing to pour into your life. A vessel that has not been through the fire would shatter under the weight of the blessing I have in store for you. You have often thought that your life should be a simple, happy song. You have prayed for a melody composed only of bright, cheerful, major key notes. You have longed for a life of unbroken joy, of mountaintop experiences, of constant, harmonious praise. And when the music of your life has shifted into a minor key, you have believed that something is wrong. You have thought that I, the composer, have made a mistake. But I want you to imagine a maestro composing his grand symphony. If he were to write a piece using only high, joyful notes, what would it sound like? It would be simple, perhaps, and pleasant for a moment. But soon it would become shallow, repetitive, and ultimately forgettable. It would lack depth, emotion, and power. A masterpiece is not made from joy alone. It is the interplay of light and shadow, of tension and release, that creates something truly magnificent and timeless. The seasons of your life that have felt dark, painful, and sorrowful, these are the minor keys I have written into your symphony. The long, slow, agonizing notes of grief, the sudden crashing, dissonant chords of betrayal and shock, the haunting, empty spaces of a prolonged, painful rest where the music seems to stop altogether. From your perspective, sitting in the orchestra, you can only see the difficult sheet music in front of you. You feel the strain of holding that long, sad note. You dread the coming passage of lament. You do not understand its place in the grand design, but from my podium I hear the full arrangement. I know that these somber movements are creating a profound depth and a rich emotional resonance in your life song. They are the very passages that will make the coming crescendo of joy all the more glorious and breathtaking. They are what make your melody relatable to other aching hearts. They are what transform a simple tune into a timeless anthem of resilience and redemption. Do not be afraid of the minor keys, my beloved. Do not despise the rests. I am the maestro, and I am weaving every note, both the joyful and the sorrowful, into a symphony more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. These somber notes are making your melody exquisite. You have prayed for a safe and easy passage for calm seas and fair winds. And yet I have allowed a storm to rise on your horizon, a tempest so fierce it has threatened to capsize your very hope. As the waves have crashed over the deck and the winds have torn at your sails, you have cried out, "Lord, do you not care that I am perishing? Why have you led me into this storm?" In your fear you have assumed that I have abandoned you at the helm, that I am asleep in the hold, indifferent to your struggle. But now I want you to see from the perspective of the wise captain of your soul. What you could not see from your vantage point on the churning deck was what lay just ahead on the calm, easy path you were on. Just beyond the horizon, hidden by the placid waters, was a treacherous ship-shattering reef, a field of deadly icebergs, the patrol route of an enemy fleet waiting to take you captive. Your original course, the one that felt so safe and right, was leading you directly into absolute certain destruction. That storm you so feared, that tempest that seemed like my neglect, it was my divine intervention. It was my act of violent mercy. I sent the wind and the waves not to sink you, but to save you. The storm was a course correction. Yes, it was terrifying. Yes, it forced you to wrestle with the rigging and bail out water until your arms ached. Yes, it may have even caused some damage to your ship that will need to be repaired. But the damage from the storm I allowed is nothing compared to the utter annihilation you were spared. I had to push you off your path to save you from your destination. So many times what you perceive as a painful delay is actually my divine protection. A closed door is often my hand shielding you from the sorrow that lies behind it. A prayer that seems unanswered is often my wisdom protecting you from a desire that would have ultimately led you to ruin. I see the whole map of the sea. My child, I know where every danger lies. Trust your captain. Even when the winds are contrary and the sea is raging, my hand is firmly on the helm, steering you not away from your destiny, but away from your destruction. Throughout this entire process, in the pressure, in the fire, and in the storm, you have never, not for a single moment, been alone. I was not watching from a safe distance. In the pressure of the potter's hands, it was my strength holding you together so you would not crumble. In the fire of the kiln, it was my holy presence surrounding you like a shield, ensuring the flames would only refine you, never consume you. In the heart of the raging storm, I was there in the boat, with you commanding the wind and the waves on your behalf. I am always at work in ways you see, and in a million more ways you do not. I am silently, lovingly, and masterfully turning the very things the enemy meant for your destruction into the powerful instruments of your salvation and the unshakable foundation of your greatest testimony. And so now, my child, after walking through the map of your scars, after seeing the divine purpose in your pain, the time has come to shift your gaze. You will now look away from what has been and look toward what I am declaring shall be. The enemy intended for your past pain to be a prison, but I am turning it into a platform. He meant for your wounds to be a final chapter, but I am making them the preface to your greatest story. Therefore receive this prophetic word for your life. Let it sink deeper than all the voices of doubt and despair. Where you have seen a dead end, a place where all your hopes have come to a halt, I am declaring it a new beginning. The wall you have been staring at is about to become a door. The wound that you thought was a fatal blow, the place of your greatest weakness and shame, I now sanctify it as the very place where my light, my strength and my glory will enter and shine through you most powerfully. And the ashes of your past, the remains of your burned down dreams, your failed relationships, your lost opportunities, do not sweep them away in sorrow. For I declare that those ashes are not for burial. They are the holy fertilizer I am using to cultivate the most glorious future you can imagine. Hear the word of your God. Over the noise of your circumstances, over the lies that have echoed in your mind for years, over the weariness in your soul, I speak this word with the full authority of heaven now. Right now, as you are hearing my voice, the season of your transformation has begun. The shift is taking place in the spiritual realm. The heavens are moving on your behalf. I am a God who builds with rejected materials. And so I am taking every single brick of disappointment you have collected, every broken promise, every painful letdown, every moment you felt you had failed, and I am using them as the very cornerstones to build a palace of purpose for you. I am a God who creates gardens in the desert. And so I am taking every single tear you have cried, the ones you cried in secret, the ones you thought were wasted and unseen, and I am pouring them out upon the dry ground of your life to water a garden of blessings that is about to burst forth with unimaginable color and life. What you thought was the evidence of your defeat is the very substance of your victory, and from this transformation I promise you a divine exchange. I am not just healing you, I am upgrading you. I am not just restoring what was lost, I am redeeming it for something greater. You have endured the crushing weight of my silence, and it has made you question if I was even there. But because you persevered through that silence, because you kept leaning and straining to hear, I declare that this season has carved within you a profound spiritual sensitivity. Where there was once a terrifying emptiness, I am cultivating a holy stillness. You will begin to hear my voice with a clarity that will astonish you. You will no longer need to search for me in the earthquake or the fire. You will recognize my whisper in the gentlest breeze. Your spiritual ears are being fine-tuned to my frequency. The confusion that once plagued you will be replaced by a calm certainty. You will discern my guidance, my comfort and my instruction with an intimacy you have only dreamed of. The painful silence was the training ground for this supernatural perception. You have grown so weary from the impossible weight of the mask, from the constant performance of being strong and fine for everyone else. I am taking that exhaustion now, and I am turning it into an authentic, unshakable strength. The mask is coming off, my child. In its place, I am giving you a courage you have not known, the courage to be vulnerable, the courage to be honest, the courage to be real. And your story, not the polished version, but the true, gritty story of your struggles and of my unending faithfulness through them all. That story will become a divine key. It will be the key that unlocks the prison doors for thousands of others who are still hiding behind their own masks, thinking they are alone. Where you once felt weak and hidden, you will now stand in a strength that is not your own, and your testimony will become a lighthouse for lost ships, guiding them safely back to my shore. The energy you once wasted on pretending will now be a powerful force for liberation in my kingdom. You have looked with sorrow at the broken pieces of your past, seeing only shame, regret, and irreparable damage. You see a shattered vessel, worthless and beyond repair. But I am the master artist, the redeemer of fragments. I am now gathering every single shard of your past, every mistake, every heartbreak, every painful memory, and I am creating a masterpiece. I am performing a divine kintsugi on your soul. I am joining the pieces of your life back together, not with simple glue that tries to hide the cracks, but with my liquid gold, the pure gold of my grace, my mercy, and my unconditional love. Your past will no longer be a source of shame. It will become a breathtaking mosaic that tells the story of my power to restore. People will look at your life, and they will not see the breaks. They will be captivated by the beauty of the gold that fills them. Your scars will become your beauty marks, a testament to the world that no one is too broken for my redeeming touch. And finally, you have wandered for so long in the barren desert of comparison, feeling unseen, insignificant, and left behind. I declare that desert is about to bloom. The season of you looking at others' blessings is over, because the season of you walking in your own has now begun. I am turning that wasteland of inadequacy into a unique, personal, and glorious garden that only you can cultivate. I am calling you out of the shadows of other people's callings and into the brilliant light of the specific tailor-made purpose that I designed for you before you were ever formed. You are about to step into your own lane and blossom in your own timing. The gifts I have placed within you, the unique passions of your heart, will begin to flourish in a way no one else can replicate. Your life will bear a fruit that has a flavor all its own. Where you once felt ordinary, you will now walk in the anointing of your God-given distinction. The world will marvel not because you are like someone else, but precisely because you are not. The prophetic words I have spoken over you are alive. They are active and full of creative power, ready to manifest in your life. But my promises are not a passive magic show that you simply observe from a distance. They are a divine invitation to a dance, and they require your active participation. Faith. My child, is the step you take toward me in the darkness, trusting that my word is true. It is a verb, it is an action. So now I invite you to seal these prophecies over your life. Do not let the enemy steal this seed of hope before it has a chance to take root. We will do this together by making 3 sacred covenants of transformation, 3 acts of faith that will serve as the anchors for your new beginning. First, we will make a public covenant of faith. Your healing begins the moment you break your agreement with silent suffering. The enemy's power is in the secrets and the shame that you hold in the darkness. Today, we bring it into the light. My word needs your voice to activate it in the earthly realm. So I want you to perform a simple but powerful prophetic act right now. In the comments section below this message, I want you to declare your faith in writing for all of heaven and earth to see. Write these exact words: my pain is being transformed. 11. This is so much more than a comment on a screen. This is a legal declaration in the courts of heaven. Your fingers typing these words are an act of war against the spirit of despair that has held you captive. You are serving notice to your past that it no longer has a hold on your future. You are aligning your will with my will. The number 111 is my sign to you of a new beginning, a divine alignment. It is the number of manifestation, a sign that the spiritual reality we have discussed is now breaking through into your physical reality. As you type and send this declaration, you are not just speaking for yourself. You are joining a global chorus of my children who are choosing to believe in my goodness. Your faith will become a beacon of hope for another soul who is scrolling through, desperately needing a sign that transformation is possible. Let your declaration be that sign. Second, we will make a personal and tangible covenant, a secret memorial between you and me. After this message is over, I want you to go outside or look around your home and find a small stone. An ordinary, simple stone. I want you to pick it up and hold it tightly in your hand. Feel its texture, its weight, its coldness. This stone represents your greatest pain. It represents the hardness of your circumstances, the weight of your sorrow, the seemingly lifeless situation you have been in. Then in a quiet place where it is just the two of us, I want you to hold that stone out in your open palm and speak these words of release aloud. Lord, I surrender this stone to you. I give you this pain, this hardness, this weight. I believe your promise that you are transforming it into a precious jewel. As you speak these words, I want you to spiritually and emotionally release that burden into my hands. Feel the transfer of responsibility from your shoulders to mine. Now take that stone and place it somewhere you will see it every single day. On your desk, by your bedside, on a windowsill. This stone is no longer a monument to your pain. It has now become an altar to my promise. The enemy will try to use it to remind you of the hurt. But every time your eyes fall upon it, you will remember this sacred moment. You will remember your covenant, and you will declare, "No." That is the stone that reminds me that my God is a master artist, a redeemer, and he is transforming my pain into his glory. Third, we will make a covenant of multiplication. My healing is not designed to terminate with you. It is designed to flow through you. Your freedom is meant to become a key to set other captives free. As you have been listening to this message, my Holy Spirit has been quietly placing the names and faces of other people on your heart. I want you to think of at least 3 people right now. You know who they are. They are the ones who wear the same mask you once wore. They are fighting their own battles in silence, praying their own desperate prayers in their own quiet rooms. They too need to know that their pain has a purpose. Your final act of faith today is to become a messenger of my hope. Take this video and share it with those 3 people. Do not just send a link, but add a personal note from your heart. Say something simple and powerful like, "I was thinking of you when I heard this. I believe this is how our pain gets transformed. You see, my kingdom operates on a divine principle of flow. When you become a conduit for my living water, your own well will never run dry. As you carry a cup of hope to those who are thirsty, I will cause new springs to erupt in your own life. When you partner with me to bring healing to others, you accelerate your own. Become the answer to someone else's prayer today, and watch how I pour out an answer to yours that you cannot contain. You have done it, my beloved child. You have heard my word. You have bravely walked through the landscape of your pain. You have received my promise of transformation, and you have sealed it with your acts of faith. I see the courage it took for you to stay, to listen, and to open your heart to me. I am so incredibly proud of you. Listen to me as you prepare to step back into your day. This journey of transformation is a process, not an event that is fully completed in a single moment. There will be days when the old whispers of pain try to return. There will be moments when the gravitational pull of your past feels strong. The path forward will have its own challenges. But I want to leave you with this unbreakable foundational promise, and I want you to build your life upon it. You will never ever be alone in this process. I am not a God who pushes you out of the nest and simply waits to see if you will learn to fly. I am the God who flies with you, underneath you, and beside you. I am not waiting for you at some distant finish line. I am your constant companion on every single step of the path. When your legs feel weak, my strength will be your support. When the path ahead seems dark and uncertain, my word will be the lamp that illuminates your very next step. And when the winds of doubt and fear begin to blow, my unconditional love will be the cloak that surrounds you and keeps you warm. Do not ever forget this. The transformer is always with you. This journey of healing is also not meant to be a solitary one. The enemy's greatest strategy is to isolate you, to make you believe that you are the only one who feels this way. But I build my kingdom through connection, through family. That is why this channel exists. It is more than a collection of videos or a series of messages. It is a sacred space I am building for my children. Think of this place as a forge. Here in the warmth of this community, we are being shaped and strengthened together. The fire that once felt isolating now becomes a shared source of light and refining power. Think of it as a hospital for the heart, a safe place where the wounded can come to be bandaged with my truth, where the weary can find a bed of grace to rest in, and where no one is ever judged for the scars they carry. And most importantly, think of it as a family. A global family of my sons and daughters who are making the courageous choice to heal out loud, to grow together, and to cheer one another on toward their divine destiny. So I officially invite you now to join this family and plant yourself in this fertile soil. Take a moment to press the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell not just as a function of your device, but as a prophetic act. Let it be a declaration that you are choosing to intentionally place your heart in the stream of my encouragement. Each notification will be a whisper from me to you in the middle of your busy day, a gentle reminder. You are seen. You are loved. You are being shaped, not shattered. And now, my child, as we close our time together, let us seal this with a final act of peace. Wherever you are, I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. Be still. Take a long, deep breath in. As you inhale, I want you to physically and spiritually breathe in my grace. Breathe in my peace that surpasses all understanding. Breathe in my unconditional love and total acceptance of you right here, right now. Just receive it. Now slowly breathe out. As you exhale, I want you to release every last residue of the old story. Breathe out the shame. Breathe out the fear. Breathe out the heavy identity of victim. Let it all go. Let's do it once more. Breathe in my newness, my purpose, my identity for you. And breathe out the ashes of the past. Open your eyes. You are no longer a captive of your history. You are no longer defined by what was done to you or by the mistakes you have made. From this day forward, you are a living, breathing monument to my grace. You are the evidence of my redemptive power. Your life will be the proof of my goodness, and your story will be a beacon of hope that tells the world that transformation is not just possible, it is a promise. Go now from this place in peace. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the quiet confidence of a child who knows they are deeply and eternally loved by their Father. Go with a holy expectation for the good things I have already set in motion for you. The long night is over. Your new dawn has begun. Amen.